What's going on guys, my name is Zach, and today we're back with another video on this channel. So for today we're doing a Gate Guardian deck profile. So I'm really excited to show this guys because this is actually a very fun deck profile to use and play with. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So to begin off, we're using 2 copies of Song of the Thunder, 2 copies of Kashtira, and 2 copies of Suijin. These 3 cards are your combo pieces, and I will say 2 is a fine number because you really reuse them all the time when you have them banished because of your combo pieces in this deck. So you can just keep fusing with these cards. And we basically don't use their monster effects, they're just combo pieces. Next up, we're using 3 copies of Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Labyrinth Heavy Tank is one of the best cards as a free up in this build because he has the effect that you can actually just normal summon this monster without tribute. There are no cost for this, you can just summon him out instead of your normal summoning. And when you have this card on the field, you can during your main phase place one of your combo pieces here from either your hand, deck, or banished pile to your spell and trap card zone. So this deck actually works like Crystal Beast, and I really enjoy playing it. And also after that, you can actually destroy a monster your opponent controls, which is a great B effect. When I talk about B effect, it's basically a B effect, which means that B effect will only happen if effect A happens. If you can get me on that point. Next, we're using 3 copies of Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. Shadow Ghoul is basically terraforming in this build because he has the effect that you can discard this card to search out any Labyrinth wall card from your deck to your hand. And also, when he is in the graveyard, you and your opponent declares an attack, you can banish this monster from your graveyard if you control a Labyrinth wall card, and then destroy the attacking monster, which is a great effect, guys. Next, sadly though, we're using 2 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma. I would say bump this up to a 3 up, but I really didn't have any chance to get it for this deck profile, and I really wanted to have this video out. But if you have 3 copies, use it. This is a great free up, guys. So he's basically just another fusion combo because he has the effect that when you control this monster once per turn, you can reveal one of your fusions, like for example your Gate Guardians combined, and then send one of those materials from your deck to the graveyard, and then Prisma will become that monster. So let's say that you send your Kashtira to the graveyard, then this will now be your Kashtira, and then you can just fusion summon with him, which is a great card in general and effect. Next, we're using 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. Yes, guys, it's basically I don't know what to say. It is a good card in this deck because he is a level 7 and you can use level 7 cards. And I believe a lot of people already know what Fenrir does, but basically when you control the monsters, you can special summon him for free, which gives you an extra extended to this deck, and also you can search out any copy of your Fenrir again, or your copy of Scarecrow Kashtira. Scarecrow Kashtira is just, again, an extender, and you can banish your other copy of Fenrir in your hand to special summon him. And he is also a super heavy samurai card, because he can attack when he is in defense position, which means that you have a 2600 beat stick on the field already there. For the last monsters, guys, we're using 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Ash Blossom is just the greatest hand trap that exists, so basically use 3 of her in every deck. But yeah, guys, that was everything for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're using 3 copies of Labyrinth Wall Shadow. Labyrinth Wall Shadow is a great free up and the greatest field spell right now to this build, because it has the effect that during your main phase you can place one of your Suijin, Kashtira, or Song of the Thunder that are in your hand, deck, or banish pile, and place them face up in your spell and trap card zone. And also, it has the effect that monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned except for level 5 or high monsters, which is a great effect because that really locks out the the smaller beat stickers. And also, it has the effect that when your opponent declares at the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can destroy a monster your opponent controls with less than 1600 attack. Which, again, if we talk about the smaller variants of mechanic monsters that people use, like, let's say, Math Mech, take that as an example. They have a lot of smaller monsters that has under 1600, so we can actually just pop a free card there if they decides to have one on the field. Next, we're using one copy of Double Attack, Wind and Thunder. I will say a lot of people might think, why don't bump it out to free? It's a good card. Well, I will say in this build it is fine, but I can really search it if I really want to. I can search it with one of the fusions, but I will say I might just bump it up to a 2-up or a 3-up because, again, it is a good card. Because it has the effect that if you control a Gate Guardian monster, you can destroy a monster your opponent controls. So it's just a free pop, and you can also banish this card from your graveyard to take one of your Gate Guardians that are banished or in the graveyard, and then take it up to your hand, which is a great effect, guys, because that really means that we can continue using all our pieces for our combos. Next, we're using one copy of Ryuruku, what's it called? Ryoku Guardian. And I haven't been comboing this much, but it has the effect that if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can target one monster your opponent or you control with Gate Guardian. It's in their original name, so basically one of our fusions. And then you put your opponent's life points in half. And then those life points that you cut in half with this effect, your monster will get that in attack points, which is a huge attack boost. So let's say that you're down to 2,000 and your opponent still are laying on that 8,000. Then you will cut it down to 4,000, and then your monster will get a big boost on 4,000 attack points. And the reason for why I only use this is because it's not necessarily all the time that I really need this effect, but I would say it is a great card, even though. Next, we're using 3 copies of Fusion Deployment. This card is stupid, guys, in this deck, because you can show one of your fusions and then special summon one of your materials directly from your deck. So, again, let's say that you use your Gate Guardian combined, boom, Castagen on the field right there. And I will say I don't really use Fusion Deployment as a starter, but if I can do anything else, I will start out with Fusion Deployment. But it's just a really good card, and I would say use 3 of this card because it really helps with your combos. Next, we're using 2 copies of Sacred Swords of 7 stars. The reason for this is basically we're using a lot of level 7s, and let us just say, okay, we banish Kashtira Fenrir because we don't need it in that situation, and then draw 2 new cards. So that's basically everything that we really use it for. To banish one of our level 7s, and you can also banish one of your fusion combo pieces, because you can just get it back with your Labyrinth Wall Shadow or your Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Next, we're using 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. Foolish Burial Goods is a great job, guys, because it has the effect that you can send a spell trap card from your deck to the graveyard, and you can only use one of these once per turn. So it's good to send our copy of Jiragumo to the graveyard. He's a trap card now, which is a great card as well. He has a really good effect. Next, we're using 1 copy of Call by the Grave. I don't like hand traps. Let's be fair, I believe no one does. We play only 3 spells, and that's our only hand traps. Next, 1 Gold Sarcophagus, again to banish our fusion materials. And for the last spell card, 1 Monster Reborn. Again, I really want to, if some of my Guardian pieces ends in the graveyard and I can't get it back, Monster Reborn is a great card to deal with that problem. But that was everything for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, guys, we're using 2 copies of Prey of the Jiragumo. This is a good trap, basically, because when you or you can just special summon this card as a normal monster. However, it will still be a trap card, and you need to summon it in that column that you set the card. So let's say if you set it in the center column, then you need to summon it in the center column as well. But then you can pop a monster in that column. So let's say that your opponent goes first, he summons out a monster in the extra monster zone, maybe an access code Targa. You set your Breath of Jiragumo here and start comboing. Maybe you pop it with any other effect, maybe you swing over it, I don't know. But then in the next turn, you're going to activate it and then pop access code. So that is just a great effect. And it also has the effect that you can add one of your materials back to your hand from your banish pile or graveyard to just by banishing this, which is a good effect as well, because then we continue with our pieces. And for the last traps, free imperm. Because again, I don't like hand traps, but I really need to. We need to run some ourselves. Now, guys, let's get into the extra deck, and I'm really excited to show you this. First off, we're using 3 copies of Gate Guardians combined. This is a great free up, guys, because he is your boss monster. I believe that Gate Guardian always should have been a fusion, because that is just better. But he has the effect that you can fusion some of this card. I don't know what the frig. I don't know what I said there. I was about to combine card and the guy with each other, so I made that another word. But you can fusion some of this monster by banishing the materials named on it from your field, which basically you can remove all your Gate Guardian pieces. I was about to say Guardian Chimera, but nothing else there. And then fusion some of this card. And he is a very good boss monster because he has the effect that when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a specific card, that targets cards that you control, you can negate that effect and destroy the card. And you can actually do this 3 times each turn. So if your opponent activates Imperm of one of your monsters, fine, negate. Evenly, fine, negate. I don't know if it works with Nibiru. I haven't been trying that logic. But basically, he's just a no to opponent's combos. We then use 2 copies of Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. This is a great card because he has the effect that twice per turn, you can, once per chain, not once per turn, but twice per turn, when there's a chain starting, you can choose a monster on the field and then makes it attack 0. So that is a good card effect. Because that means that if, let's say that you have access code on the field, and they haven't been using anything like that, and then you use something on summon, then you can actually make access codes attack 0, which is a great effect, guys. Next, we're using 2 copies of Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind. Thunder and Wind is just a great 2-up as well, and we use 2 of all the smaller variants of the Gate Guardian and 3 of the big guy. He is a good searcher because he has the fact that during your main phase, you can search out a spell trap that specifically reads out, or what's it called? I can't remember the word. But a spell trap card that says something about Sanga of the Thunder, Kassadian, and Suidian. Because you can just search out your copy of Double Attack, Wind and Thunder. And that is just a great card overall. For the last fusions, we're using 2 copies of Gate Guardian of Wind and Water. This is a great job as well, guys, because he has the effect that twice per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap or effect, you can negate that card, which is a great effect. So if you play against, let's say, Sprite, and they activate Starter, then boom, negate. And then they activate another spell or trap, boom, negate. Which is a great effect, guys. Now we go into our Xyz, and we go in for a number 11 Big Eye. This is a great one-up, guys, because he has the effect that you can detach a material from this card to choose a monster your opponent controls and take control over it. Again, if they have a big beat stick monster, Yoink. Next, we're using one Red Eyes Flare Metal Drain. He's just a burner. If you know your opponent makes a lot of moves and again, a lot of decks in Monday Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays a lot of effects. So it's just, okay, burn for 500 every time, which is a great thing. Next, we're using one card that a lot of people might disagree with, but this is actually a very cool card to use in this build because we are using a lot of level 7. So before I show you, comment down below what you thought that this card would be. And no cheating, guys, please. But like, subscribe in 3, 2, 1, and the card that we're using is one copy of Kashtira, a Rise Heart. A Rise Heart is just a great going second card, I think. If they destroy a lot of my combos, which is very hard to do in this build, of course they could go in for Deep Barrier and say Fusion, but then I can just go into Xyz variants, like a Rise Heart, and say, okay, a Rise Heart pass, and then we have a Macrocosmos on the field, which is a great card to have. But basically, he has the effect that, yeah, Macrocosmos, I just said it. And he also has the effect that when this card has 3 or more materials, you can banish a card in the field, and every time a card is banished once per chain, you can put one of those banished cards in as a material for a Rise Hunt. I was like, when I played Kashtira, I still have the deck, don't worry. But when I used him in Kashtira, I believe that I got him up with 10 materials at one time, which was insane. Next, we're using one copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron is just a good card to have. It's an Omni-Negate, and yeah, that is basically it. I really love that it's just a level 10, because then we can normal summon one of our Ash Blossoms and synchro together with, I don't know, Fenrir, Scarecrow Kashtira, any of our fusion variants, something like that. So that's just a great card to have, guys. Next, we're using one copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. So we're using the Link BLS, which is good because we do use a lot of level 7s. It's not all the time that I use him, but he has the effect that when you have Link summon this monster with a level 7 or higher monster, I believe that, yeah, your opponent cannot target this monster with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And it also has these 3 effects that it will get when it pops a monster in battle, which is, this card can either gain 1500 attack, this card can make a second attack during the battle phase of your next turn, or you can banish a card in the field, which will combo up with a Rise Heart, because that is just a great combo. Fine, I banish this, a Rise Heart effect, yoink that thing back, which is great. And for the last card, guys, we're using Access Code. Again, I don't really use my Link variants in this deck that much. I really focus on the fusions, but if I get in trouble like Deep Area, I will go in for a Rise Heart or any of my other XD monsters, because I can make all the materials work on the field. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and before we leave this video, comment down below what is your favorite Gate Guardian card, because we do have the materials, which are Song of the Thunder, Kazajan, and Suijin, but we also have the new Gate Guardian fusions. So comment it down below, and remember, we will see each other next time. Peace out.